Day 15, meal number 3. So I just got back from New York City, and I have Savannah here with me. And we had a nice little trip. Had a little treat in the truck. The little dog ate a little bit of the salmon, and I saved about half of that salmon. I couldn't really get through all of those vegetables. I was able to eat about half of them. And so here I am. It's actually 4.5 hours later. And so my spacing today is about every 4 hours. I'm a little bit hungry right now, and I was wondering, well, why am I a little hungrier today? You'd think it's because, well, first meal I only ate one nut of each of these things, except I had a few of these pumpkin seeds like that, 2 apples, 2 bananas, 1 raspberry, 1 blueberry, and 1 of these tiny cute little pineapples. So I thought, well, I didn't eat that much for my first meal, and I wasn't hungry. My second meal, you saw it. I ate a little bit more than what I usually eat, so why would I be hungry now? Then it occurred to me, I got up so early, and I forgot to take my probiotics. One of them that I take is this one here that I like, and you got 3.4 billion workers. I take 3 of these. Add that up. It's over 10 billion helpers in my body. Okay, but sometimes I like more workers. I like extra help. So you've got this one, which trumps all probiotics. 400 billion workers in my body working away. It's so great. I forgot to take these guys. I was half asleep in that first video this morning, and my digestive enzymes, I'm taking this one here. And I know there's some digestive enzymes, very helpful ones, in this little cute little pineapple. But I'm a little bit off of my routine. Well, what are some of the other things that I missed this morning that I take every morning that I haven't really talked about fully yet? I take 3 of these fish oil. Now, I'm not saying you should take these. You should work that out with your doctor, and or listen to your body, like the real physician actually lives inside of us. Don't listen to me, whatever you do. Listen to your own inner voice. I am hoping that I might inspire that connection. But that's your connection, though. It's not me, right? It's you, your deepest you. Fish oil from, basically this is from salmon. Okay, so I usually take 3 of these in the morning. Alrighty, alpha lipoic acid. Maybe we'll do a whole segment just on alpha lipoic acid. Vitamin D, I take a whole bunch of these, like a rather fantastically gigantic amount. Work that out with your regular doc, your naturopathic physician, or your own inner physician, right? I find that this is very helpful, so I forgot to take my vitamin D. Certainly we get vitamin D from the sun, or the milk that I'm not drinking. I'm hardly drinking any milk at all. So vitamin D, when it's wintertime here in the US of A, in the more the northern parts, we get less sun. So having extra vitamin D, and we'll do a whole segment just on vitamin D. Vitamin D can change the equation dramatically when it comes to things like chronic pain. All right, I forgot to take my mushrooms. I take 2 kinds of mushroom. So these 2 kinds here, I forgot to take those. And then I take 2 kinds of turmeric. Now, how do you say it? Turmeric? I don't know. I was at my dance class. I referred to this last week. We were having a discussion about how you actually say this. I don't know. It's really great for anti-inflammation, for joint pain, for pain all around, and for generating energy. So turmeric, you can cook with turmeric too. We'll do a salmon with turmeric here one of these days coming up. Reverserol, all right? I missed taking that. I take this cholesterol one. It's mainly kind of vitamin B. It's mainly niacin, but it's also red yeast rice. It's that and basically niacin, and usually there's a little chromium. Is there in this? Yep, a little bit of chromium in that. So helpful. milk thistle and dandelions. You know those cute little guys that make those little flowers, the little white thing, you blow it, right? Yeah, who'd ever guess they're actually a kind of interesting thing. You can actually eat the greens off the dandelions. Milk thistle and dandelion. I forgot to take that. And completing the whole thing, here's green tea. So, you know, in terms of the green tea, it's green tea leaf extract, 500 milligrams. I take one of those every day. Those are the supplement basis that I take alongside of, you saw, where is it here? You saw this green stuff that I use, right? A scoop of that. And I'll put this out here with its friends. And then, okay, this one over here. This guy, it's kind of from all varieties of sprouted seeds and grains. And so I take that. So that forms the routine in the morning, which I got up so early, I just forgot. Can you believe it? So here I am, third meal of the day. What am I going to do? I'm getting a little bit hungry. It's been 4.5, almost 5 hours now. I do feel pretty clear-minded. And I feel overall pretty good. We're going to move in to teach some classes. It's going to be a little bit physical. I want to make sure that my body has some energy, and I want to make sure that I got to have a little bit of time to rest before I come into this physical activity. So here's what I'm doing. Okay, remember that avocado I kept talking about? Finally, I cut into it. Remember all the stuff we made with the cucumbers and the zucchini, the yellow squash, the onions, red peppers, kale, spinach. Remember that? A little bit of mushroom. Okay, there it is. I will eat. If I'm still hungry, I will finish this thing over here. We can eat as much of that as we want. I have about 3 tablespoons of hummus, and I have a little block of feta cheese about the size of my hand. Generally, I haven't been eating any cheese. I'm going to allow myself this little luxury because I'm getting a little bit hungry. Okay. And I want that flavor. Hand in hand with that flavor for me comes, are you ready? Bubby. There's Bubby. She's really saying, eat my pickles. They're super delicious. I work day and night on these. I'm very serious about pickles, right? So I'm craving the flavor of this, and that might just be the enzymes. Looks like Abby's home from school. We'll get to see Abby too. So this little hot mix of vegetables, it's kind of like in a vinegar, but I kind of like the flavor of that. Sometimes kicking up the flavor with some little thing like this that, you know, it's really, there's no sugar in it, so we can eat as much of these as you want. Hi, Abby, how you doing? There's Abby, say hi. All right, say hi, Savannah. There's Savannah. Yeah. Here's Ross. Ross, say hi, everybody. There's all my friends here. They're checking out what I'm eating. Would you like a delicious hot pepper or hot cauliflower?
I'm okay, thank you.
You gonna pass on that? What about giant, well, it's not too giant, but feta cheese?
No, thank you.
How about an avocado? Got it, like right there. It comes in its own little bowl. That's kind of nice. It's fun for kids because it's like, oh, look, you have a bowl and you have your delicious snack. There you go, Abby, I made that for you. Well, actually, the sun and the earth made that for you. I just cut it in half.
Can I eat this, or are you gonna use it for your thing?
No, you can eat that. That's the idea.
Okay.
Okay. What else here? I don't know. Maybe these horseradish pickles. I might have one of those. So I have a pretty good variety. As I mentioned before, I'm going to have one nut each meal. The last meal, I didn't have the nuts with me, so I skipped that. So I start with this pecan right here. This guy. It looks like the shell of a turtle. You know, you can use your imagination, right? Or it looks like a Viking shield. If you look at it really close up, it's super interesting. Like if you really look at it and examine it. Remember how we talked about the first activity at the UMass Stress Reduction Clinic? John Kabat-Zinn, my old mentor. I mean, I don't mean to say he's old, but you know, the program's been around a while. John was like a pioneer. He's like, okay, meditator. He's a scientist actually, right? And some kind of microbiology or something like that. And so he like lets the docs know that maybe they're going to do a little meditation. They find a little nook and cranny in the hospital, like in the library and the old dusty books. They do a little meditation. What's the first thing he does? Raisin. For me, raisins, too sweet. I mean, we could probably eat one. I mean, you know, like how I am lately. Here's like maybe a whole like day worth of nuts right here eating one at a time. We could put one raisin on there and eat a little tiny speck. Like you're a little mouse and you're just eating a speck of raisin. Okay. I like nut is a better choice because it's going to deliver us a lot of nutrients. It's not sugary. It doesn't turn to sugar fast, whereas a raisin is a grape, which has been dried, and it does turn to sugar relatively fast. One in my plate would probably be okay. I've got one tiny little pineapple here, you know. That's okay. I mean, one raisin. Can you eat one raisin? Would it kill you to eat just one? See, Lay's forgot to say that about their potato chips. They're like, they don't say would it kill you to eat only one. They sort of imply you can't eat only one. And they forgot to say if you keep eating those and you eat the whole bag, and then another whole bag, you want more because of the salt, because of the intensity of the potato turning to sugar fast. You get a sugar high, and because the fat in it, and let's just say that, I don't know if it's anymore. I haven't looked at the ingredients lately, but hydrogenated soybean oil, super delicious, super charged, super fat, along with the whole combination just makes you want to keep eating them. And then, I'm sorry, am I reminding you of something like you got to have it now? Okay, if that's the case, if that triggers you, breathe in and breathe out. Get your feet on, feel your feet on the ground. When we cope with something that's going to try to drag us away, come back, feet on the ground, feel ourselves breathing, feel our whole body as a whole, can remember what's most important to you, right? Well, these guys are super important to me. There's Abby, she's trying to sneak around so as not to disturb us. And there's Rasa. I like to be around, like as a human being, as a person. I do think we kind of live forever in a form of energy, so I can still take good care of my kids, even if I'm like a little tooth fairy flying around. They won't be able to see me, but I'll still be there, like whispering like messages. Do you believe that I'll be able to do that, Abby?
Yeah.
Like when you're 80, I'm gonna be like a baby flying around. It's like I'm gonna be like what would be the most likely thing I would say, Abby? As a little fairy flying around, as a form of energy supporting you.
Like,
What can you imagine I would be saying just as a little
we're
tooth
the
fairy?
kind of family that blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah, we're the kind. Abby, remember, we're still the kind of family that talks about what kind of family we are. We still are. Yeah, like that. And I'll be like, you can do it. You can, this little voice. And I'm telling you right now, if you're all about potato chips, because I happen to go on and on about them too long, you can, if you want to imagine me as a tiny tooth fairy flying around going, you can do it. It's okay. Potato chips, not eating a whole bag, it won't kill you. In fact, the opposite. It'll improve your statistics when it comes to health outcomes, like important ones, like inflammation, stroke, diabetes, right? Just lowering your A1C, lowering your average daily blood sugar gives you a better risk profile when it comes to heart disease, when it comes to like every problem under the sun where we get out of balance and our body reacts and tries to send messages however it can. It's like tsunami of potato chips coming. It's like they send they send up a signal of like symptoms, and we go to the doctor. It's like, doctor, I have such terrible problems, and the doctor's like, really, tell me about it, right? And they look and they say, yeah, you're right, you have terrible problems. So then they try to get rid of the symptoms. That's completely ridiculous. Think about it. If there's a tsunami and you're like on a boat and you're yelling to people to the shore, there's a tsunami coming there, and people on the shore are like, oh, who's that person yelling? Let's put our earplugs in. You're going to get hit by the tsunami. I'm sorry to explain it like this. I can't wait to talk with my doctor friends. You know who I'm going to try to recruit into this? This is my friend Bruce Gould. Okay, I'm going to call Bruce. He doesn't even know I'm going to call him now. So Bruce worked at the UMass Stress Reduction Clinic like as a resident with Kabat-Zinn. And then Bruce had some nice things to say that was on John's original published book. Through that, and through John, I met Bruce, because then he came to Connecticut. Bruce and I were like all over the map, like trying to start stress reduction clinics at every single hospital around here. And we had so much fun. Every time, psychiatry at the time in the 90s, psychiatry, every single time, every hospital twice said, we're already doing that. No, they weren't doing that at all. But anyway, so I did my work privately, and Bruce did his thing at the hospital. He's like the dean of primary care there now, and I think I'm on the faculty there. I think I don't really do anything though. Even when I see Bruce and we do something for the students, it's kind of like a lot of not doing anything. We're just sitting there breathing. It's kind of interesting. I'm on the faculty for doing absolutely nothing.
I can't believe that you would say something like breathing is nothing, given how much you talk about how it can solve everything.
You're just breathing in and breathing out. It's like no effort whatsoever. There you go. Abby's 14. She got a lot of her own ideas now. Well, and that's a good thing, Abby, to have your own ideas. We got to make up a song about that. Okay, so I think I'll recruit Bruce Gould into this so we can talk about the medical point of view. I'd be very interested to see what he has to say. Well, anyways, I believe I need to start eating now because we got classes coming up, and also I don't want to like keep you on this all day long because you need to do your activities too. Remember, we're as part of this, as part of Abby's right, breathing does a lot. We want to add a little bit of movement. We talked about using a step, up and down a step, okay, as one thing that we can do. We should talk about more things we can do. We're going to eat. We're going to use food as our medicine. We're transforming our intention so that we're joyously embracing food as a means of connection with our inner ecosphere as well as the world all around us. We're also embracing our friends and people that we know, and we're connecting. And in this process this journey we're on together, sometimes we're going to be in different places. When I'm not hungry, you might be very hungry. When I'm very hungry, which is kind of starting to move that direction now, you might not be hungry at all. No problem. We're still all on the journey. Stay with it. If that bag of potato chips tempts you, try to imagine me as a tiny little, like a little baby, like I'm a fairy, and I'm flying around, and I'm like, you can do it. And what was that other thing, Abby? It's like, oh yeah. What was the other thing?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Something about family?
Oh.
If I'm a little tooth fairy flying around, how am I going to be supporting you and everybody?
We're the kind of family that...
Oh, we're the kind. Yeah. Oh, remember, we're the kind of family that we like to eat food that it helps us to feel really happy. Yeah, we're the kind of family we like to eat. So here's some things you could think about food rules with your family. Like we used to make up songs about this. Like we only eat things we can pronounce. La 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 la. Like we try to eat things that only have 5 ingredients. Like broccoli has 1 ingredient, by the way. And hummus it's just pretty much hummus and garlic and lemon and salt and pepper, right? Anyways, I'll see you in roughly 4 hours.